the other land that you see from here are islands, some of the many Casco Bay Islands. Also on the right, you'll see a small lighthouse called the Portland Breakwater Light. It's actually 28 feet tall, but it looks much smaller. Everyone refers to it as Bug Light. It's just cute like a bug, out in the channel. In the same channel at the end of the long breakwater, you'll see another lighthouse. It's called the up on our right, look for a short obelisk. This is the Cleves and Tucker Memorial, erected in 1883. The obelisk, designed by William Goodwin, an engineer in Frederick Law Olmsted's firm, was intended to provide an aesthetic foreground for viewing Casco Bay. It was donated to the city by Payson Tucker. The obelisk also recognizes the four names of Portland. The original area, Neshigal. Then, the early explorers referred to Portland as Casco, having sailed in on Casco Bay. For a while, Portland was known as Falmouth. Actually, this whole area was Falmouth. Today, Falmouth is a small town north of Portland. And in 1790, this city was named Portland. We're approaching on the left led to some big changes in Portland, entirely by accident. They're tall and gray, so you can't miss them. When developers built them in the 1970s, locals were outraged. They felt the building was too tall and too ugly. They called it Eyesore East. They couldn't tear it down, but they campaigned to limit the allowable height of future buildings to ensure this would be the last of its kind. Ahead, this is Major Charles Loring Memorial Park. The name honors a Portlander who served as a fighter pilot in World War II and in the Korean War. The park also includes a memorial honoring all those killed in foreign wars. Turn left onto Washington Avenue. Some bronze plaques commemorating the Portland Freedom Trail. Before the abolition of slavery, Portland was a hotbed of the abolitionist movement. In 1833, the Anti-Slavery Association formed in Portland, dedicated to the abolition of slavery in the U.S. This group was unique at the time, as it welcomed everyone, black or white, man or woman. In part, thanks to their efforts, Portland even became a stop on the famous Underground Railroad, helping escaped enslaved people make their way to safety in Canada. We'll make a right turn ahead. I'll let you know when. Turn right onto Cumberland Avenue. At the second light, turn left onto Franklin Street, then prepare to turn right. The church on our left is the Church of the Immaculate Conception, the first Irish Catholic church in Portland. Get into the right lane and prepare to turn right. I'll tell you when to turn. We're heading back towards the waterfront. Soon we'll cross the bridge into South Portland and make our way all the way to the lighthouse. Should all tower of City Hall on the right. Turn right at the next light onto 4th Street. The regal stone building on our right is the Custom House. In the 1800s, all maritime commerce had to pass through here. And that was a lot of commerce. In 1850, Portland was selected to be Canada's winter port for wheat rather than Boston. Complying with the terms of that arrangement, Commercial Street, the street we are on now, was built. This brought great prosperity and momentum to Portland. First, Portland's old wharves and waterfront were literally buried with earth and debris to make Commercial Street. The back-breaking labor was provided by hordes of newly arrived Irish who fled the famines of the potato blight in Ireland from 1845 to 1849. Wharves, stores, and Wareland has seen plenty of fires over the years, but only one earned the title of the Great Fire. The Greats cheering and chanting. The Civil War had been over for a year with the Union victorious. There was much to celebrate. But amid the festivities, a stray cigar or firecracker created a spark and ignited a hungry blaze. The flames quickly spread from Commercial Street across the entirety of Old Port before hitting India Street and later Munjoy Street. So much damage had already been done. Over 10,000 Portlanders lost their homes. The City Hall, Customs House, and Post Office had all burned down. After the damage was done, it seemed like that might be the end of the story for Portland, but residents wouldn't have it. They got right to work rebuilding their city. Architects from Boston, New York, and even Canada came to the city to assist with rebuilding efforts, and things moved at breakneck speed. This time, builders used brick for the new structures to ensure another fire wouldn't wipe it all out again. Remarkably, Portlanders managed to rebuild nearly everything in only 2 years. We'll turn left up ahead. I'll let you know when. At the stoplight, turn slightly left onto York Street. It's diagonally across from us. We'll pass a statue as we drive. That's John Ford, the king of Western films. Ford won 6 Academy Awards for Best Director. He directed many of the John Wayne Westerns and won Academy Awards for movies like The Grapes of Wrath, The Way West, The Informer, and The Quiet Man. And he's originally from Portland. The Casco Bay Bridge, which connects Portland to South Portland. South Portland is actually its own city, though it's certainly not as packed with activities as its neighbor to the north. So why are we heading there? To see a famous lighthouse. The Casco Bay Bridge itself is about 20 years old and features an using the drawbridge. Ahead and to the right, we'll see more of the oil storage tanks that line the shore on the South Portland side of the bay. At the end of the bay is a pipeline built in 1941 that connects Portland with Montreal, Canada. Tankers come to the bay and offload the crude oil into the tanks. Oil is stored and then piped to Canada where it's refined. The pipeline is still in use today. Maine is one of 3 New England states that shares a border with Canada. The others being Vermont and New Hampshire. And no, New York doesn't count as part of New England. This region only includes Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. With a population of 1.3 million, Maine isn't the most populous New England state. But did you know all the other New England states combined would fit within Maine's borders? It's true. Think of it this way. If you get on the highway in Portland and drive south, after 100 miles you get to Boston. Drive 300 miles and you'll be in New York City. But if you drive 300 miles north from Portland on the same road, you'll still be in Maine. Up ahead, we'll be turning right on Cottage Road. I'll let you know. Go straight through the light. While we make our way through the city of South Portland, we approach Meeting House Hill. Meeting House Hill. As we continue up the hill, directly ahead of us is a local theater called the Portland Players. Portland Players was founded by the actress Phyllis Thaxter. She gained moderate fame on Broadway, in Hollywood, and on television. Among her movie roles, she portrayed Superman's mother in the Christopher Reeve era Superman movie in 1978. Remember this, Miss Thaxter was quite an accomplished woman. She founded this theater, and she raised Superman. That the housing on either side of the road gets significantly more elaborate and ornate than the houses in South Portland. The houses here on the left-hand side of the road are waterfront properties. Many include a gazebo in the front yard and or a guest house. The housing cost? Well, it's greater than Portland's $235,000 on average. These houses are all worth significantly more than that figure. Cape Elizabeth is what would be considered a bedroom community, in the sense that there's no particular industry or businesses here in Cape Elizabeth. It's a wonderful place to raise a family, and the schools here are highly regarded, and so it's a very desirable place to live. Cape Elizabeth is the home of Fort Williams Park. Fort Williams Park is on the grounds of the former Fort Williams, established in 1898 during our Spanish-American War. The most famous person from Cape Elizabeth is a woman named Joan Benoit Samuelson. Joan Benoit Samuelson, then known as Joan Benoit, won the first ever Women's Olympics marathon running race in 1984 at the Los Angeles Olympics. Joan Benoit Samuelson was born and raised here in Cape Elizabeth and went on to prominence as a distance runner. She's an Olympic, America, and world record holder in the marathon. She founded a running race called the Beach to Beacon 21 years ago. Beach to Beacon is a 10-kilometer running race and is now the most popular running event in Maine. The finish line is the flashing light of the Portland Headlight. We'll see that light soon. We'll be turning left soon. I'll let you know when. The headlight. In Fort Williams Park, home to the Portland Headlight, you'll notice several military installations here in the park. They date back to 1898 in the Spanish-American War. These have long since been decommissioned and now serve only to add a bit of flavor to this beautiful coastal park. But the main attraction, of course, is the lighthouse, built in 1787. This is the oldest lighthouse in the entire state of Maine. George Washington himself ordered its construction. To build it, masons used rubble stone from the surrounding area because the new American government couldn't afford to have finer materials shipped from far away. Additional height was added to the tower twice, once during the initial construction and once during the Civil War. But otherwise, the lighthouse has remained remarkably intact since the 1700s. It's not a recreation, it's the real deal. The attached museum is open daily from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Memorial Day until early October. Turn right and park in the lot coming up.